Let me know when you want to start. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to MetroCan. This is in my riding, and I am so honored to be here this morning. Someone behind me just said that it's one team, and I think that applies not only to MetroCan, but to MetroCan working with our government and working with business. It's all one team, and I can tell you that this is a company, to all the employees who are beside us and behind us, it's a real family operation, and we're so fortunate to have businesses like MetroCan in our riding. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be welcoming our Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland to come here today to meet with folks, to see the good work that's being done here, and just welcome her to our community here in Burlington. So without further ado, because you want to hear from her, not from me, it's my pleasure to introduce Chrystia Freeland.
Pam is a little taller than I am. In fact, everyone is a little taller than I am. Bonjour. Je tiens tout d'abord à souligner que les terres sur lesquelles nous nous réunissons font partie des terres du territoire visées par le traité de Mississauga du Credit. I am so delighted to be here in Burlington today with my wonderful colleague, Pam Damoff, and with the amazing team here at MetroCan. It has been such a pleasure for me to meet some of the great people working here, to see the work you actually do, to see people at work, to talk to Anna and Joe about how this is really a family company. And Anna and Joe, I would like you to say to your dad, Francesco, grazie tanto e auguri per il vostro lavoro. This is really, it's really remarkable. It's a remarkable story. MetroCan is a family-owned, homegrown business with over 750 talented, skilled workers. You are a true success story, and we want to empower more businesses and more workers like the ones who are here with me today, and that's what I want to talk about. A couple of people mentioned to me NAFTA and our trade negotiations. You are a company that is directly part of that, and as a government, we were so glad to be able to preserve and really improve and expand that trade deal. And I want you to know we're going to keep on going, and I want to assure you that those important relationships, we are going to maintain them far into the future. I know how important it is for the work that you do. I also heard about the work that you guys are doing here for VW, for Stellantis. You're doing some work and moving into EV production. And, you know, I was talking to Anna, and she said it's really important to maintain manufacturing here in Canada. I could not agree more strongly. That is, you know, the lifeblood, the engine of our economy. It guarantees resilience of our economy. It means we have good paying middle class jobs like the ones you all do here. And that's why I'm so glad that we were able to make the investments in VW, in Stellantis, in EV production here in Canada. That means we have a strong manufacturing sector, a strong car sector today, and we will have one in the future. And I am confident those investments are just going to keep on coming. We're living in a pivotal moment for millennials and Gen Z. These young Canadians have so much talent and so much potential. But today, too many young Canadians feel as though the deck is stacked against them. They can get a good job, they can work hard, but far too often the reward of a secure, prosperous, comfortable middle-class life remains out of reach. We are acting today to ensure fairness for every generation. We're moving with purpose to help build more homes faster. We're making life cost less. And we are driving the kind of economic growth that will ensure every generation of Canadians can reach their full potential. Our country works best when our economy is growing and when opportunities exist for every generation. To drive the kind of growth that will deliver prosperity for Canadians and for everyone who works here at Metrocan, the budget I tabled on Tuesday redoubles our efforts to attract investment, increase productivity, boost innovation, and create good-paying, meaningful jobs. I talked to one woman who said, you know, it's fun working here. I like what I do. And it's nice people. And that's what we all want in our jobs. That's something really important to support. That's why, with this budget, we are modernizing the scientific research and experimental development tax incentives, known as SR&ED, and further capitalizing the program with $600 million over 4 years and $150 million per year going forward, so that we can add to the SR&ED program. That's important because research and development is a key driver of productivity and growth. Made in Canada innovations meaningfully increase our GDP per capita and create good-paying jobs and secure Canada's position as a world-leading advanced economy. Now, this is not just a theory for people working here at Metrocan. Metrocan, your company, your jobs, benefit from the SR&ED program for your work on developing new equipment and weld cells. And I am so glad our government is supporting you in this work. With the enhancements to SR&ED, I hope we're going to be able to support you further. We're also introducing accelerated capital cost allowances for innovation enabling and productivity enhancing assets. I know that Anna and your CFO noticed that I made that announcement on Tuesday, and they're going to be looking at it carefully. We're going to be working with them. This enhancement to the ACCA means that investments in things like computers, data network infrastructure, and more will be eligible for immediate write-offs. This will encourage companies like yours to reinvest, create more jobs, and make their businesses more productive and innovative. And look, I know that for everyone here, what I've just said is not a theory. You've shown me some of the work you're doing here. You've shown me some of the really sophisticated automation that you've introduced. You've shown me a huge, incredibly impressive press, which costs more than $5 million. Joe told me he wants to buy another one. You need that in order to make parts for electric vehicles. You need to be bringing in automation because it makes every single person who works here more productive, and it's going to mean that Joe and Anna can pay you all more money, because if each person is more productive, then I think each person should earn a little bit more. And you know, Joe and Anna talked to me about the big press they want to buy. The big press you have here, it's made in Canada. It's made in Barrie, Windsor, Mississauga. I think it is great that you have the ambition to buy another one. Buying that press creates jobs for the people who are going to make it, and buying that next press means the future for everybody here because it lets you move further into the EV space. And I really believe the government needs to support your work in that direction. That's what this budget is about. Canada's skilled hands and brilliant minds are our greatest resource. And a strong, well-paid, talented workforce is a key driver of a strong economy. Our government recognizes this, and that's why the budget makes new investments in skilled trades workers. We're investing $100 million in apprentices and getting more young people into the skilled trades. That's going to help companies like Metrocan hire new workers with the skills that you need and scale up your business. With this budget, we're creating more jobs for younger Canadians by providing $207.6 million for the Student Worker Placement Program. This is a program that helps post-secondary students across Canada get their foot in the door in a job related to their field of study. With this new investment, we're creating more learning opportunities for post-secondary students and helping businesses attract and train new skilled workers. We're investing $10 million over 2 years in the Skilled Trades Awareness and Readiness Program to help encourage young Canadians to explore and prepare for careers in the skilled trades, like jobs many of you do here. Nous nous appuyons sur les investissements tournés vers l'avenir que notre gouvernement a fait. Et nous continuons à en faire encore plus parce que nous savons qu'il s'agit d'un élément essentiel de l'avenir économique du Canada. Nous agissons dès maintenant et avec des objectifs précis. Sinon, ce sont surtout les jeunes Canadiennes et Canadiens qui paieront le coût de notre inaction et qui seront laissés pour compte. C'est une chose que nous ne pouvons pas faire et que nous ne ferons pas. Nous allons plutôt les aider à réaliser la promesse du Canada grâce à un plan économique responsable. Un plan qui permettra de créer de nouvelles possibilités de carrière et de faire croître l'économie au profit de chaque génération. So today we're saying to our younger generations and to everyone who cares about them, we're putting the power of government to work for you. We will build more homes. We will make life cost less. We will grow our economy in a way that works for everyone. Together, we will unlock the door to the middle class for more Canadians and renew the promise of our great country. Thank you very much. Ready to answer your questions.
We'll just start the Q&A portion. It's one question, one follow-up. Just state your name and your outlet. Nous passons maintenant à la période des questions. Ce sera une question suivie. Veuillez mettre votre nom et votre média. Thank you.
And maybe speak up a little bit. It's pretty hard to hear.
Hi, my name is Simone Gavros. I'm with CHCH News. My question is about the gas prices today. Many people are seeing that gas prices have risen 14 cents today. And I'm wondering if the government is prepared to consider either eliminating or lowering the carbon tax to help offset those costs.
Okay, thank you for your question. And we really recognize that affordability is a big question in the lives of people across Canada. It's a big question in the lives of people here in Burlington. And that's why the budget has a lot of measures in place to make life more affordable. Dental care is rolling out. By next year, 9 million Canadians are going to have dental care. That's going to help a lot of people. We are making diabetes medications and contraceptives free for Canadians. That's going to make a real difference in the cost of everyone's lives. I am really, really happy about the National School Food Program that we've announced. We are going to start rolling it out in September, and that is going to mean an additional 400,000 Canadian children are going to have healthy food when they go to school. These are really important steps. On the price on pollution, 8 out of 10 Canadians in provinces like Ontario, where the backstop applies, get more money back than they pay in. This year in Ontario, a family of 4 is going to be getting $1,100 back, a little bit more than $1,100 back. That is real, meaningful support. And I want to say, one more thing about the economy and the environment, which I think is especially relevant to people who work here. You work in a very export-focused sector, in the auto sector. I am really proud of you. I am so proud of Canada's manufacturing muscle. I am proud of our strength in the auto sector. It is a real, if you pardon the metaphor, engine of our economy. Canada being strong in the auto sector requires our customers, people who buy the parts that you guys make here, people who buy the cars we make out of those parts, to want to continue to buy what we make. And today, and increasingly going forward, that is only going to be the case if we can show the world, in addition to having an economic plan, we have a climate plan. I know you guys do a lot of work for VW, a European company. You do a lot of work for Stellantis. Talk to your customers, and your customers are going to tell you, because I know that's what they're saying. One reason we like investing in Canada, one reason VW and Stellantis are here, one reason they buy the parts, the great parts you guys make here at Metrocan, is that Canada has a legitimate, widely respected plan on the environment. That what we make, we are making in a clean way, with clean power and a plan going forward. And I can tell you, global markets will not be open to us unless we have a strong and credible climate plan. So from my perspective, there are a lot of reasons we need a strong climate plan, but the number one reason is because our economy, the jobs of today and the jobs of tomorrow, depend on having one. And that's what our budget is focused on. It's focused on housing, affordability, economic growth, delivering that for the middle class, delivering that for everybody here, but especially delivering it for the younger people here, and delivering it for the children of some of us who are here, because we know we have to work hard to be sure that the promise of Canada is open to them.
On the topic of housing, the federal government has talked about selling federal lands in terms of building more homes, including armory buildings. Is that something that's happening here with properties in this area, specifically the armory building in Hamilton?
That is a great question, and thank you for focusing on the federal lands element of the budget. The budget is broadly about supporting the middle class, supporting young Canadians, unlocking the promise of Canada for young Canadians. And there's a lot of things we need to do that, but I hope you won't mind my saying you seem to be a younger Canadian than I am. And I think you will agree with what I hear from young Canadians across the country. Housing is the most acute issue. And so in this budget, we have pulled every lever and pressed every button to get more homes built faster across the country. Part of that is a much more aggressive approach to federal lands. It does include armories across the country. It includes post offices across the country. We're going to have more to unroll in that space very soon. But I am very interested in ideas you have, in ideas Pam has, in ideas the Chamber of Commerce has on federal lands in your community that we could be unlocking to get more homes built faster.
There has been discussion, though, because
Sorry,
of...
it's one question, one follow-up. Next question, please. Question, question. It's one question, one follow-up. Next question, please.
Good morning, Minister.
Hi.
I'm Sean from CTV News. The question is, and it's about infrastructure. How was your commute coming from downtown Toronto to Burlington today?
It took a little while.
And the question is, what can be done about alleviating the gridlock, especially along the Gardiner Expressway, QEW? What can be done about it from the federal perspective?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Gardiner. I had a good conversation with Premier Ford on Monday about a lot of things, but including infrastructure and including specifically the Gardiner that he's uploaded responsibility for. I know Ontario is focused on that. I agree with you that infrastructure is tremendously important. The budget includes a significant $6 billion investment in housing enabling infrastructure. That is going to make a big difference. And I also want to point out that we announced a major infrastructure program shortly after we formed government. That was a multi-year program, and actually the biggest sums of money in that program are currently rolling out. So huge investments are coming from the federal government into infrastructure in communities like Burlington, in Ontario, and across the country. The final thing I'll point out is I believe that now is a time when we need to invest in Canada. We need to invest in housing. We need to invest in infrastructure. We need to help businesses like Metrocan invest in automation and productivity. And you guys are doing a great job. But if I can give you a little bit of help, I want to do that because these investments are so important. Broadly, we need to invest in the middle class and in unlocking the promise of Canada for young Canadians. Doing that costs money. And when I presented the federal budget, it was really important for me to make these investments in a fiscally responsible way, to hit the 3 fiscal anchors, very specific, that I outlined in the fall. I did that. And to do that, we raised some additional revenue, asking those at the very top to pay a little bit more. That is what is financing the big investments in housing, in affordability, in economic growth that the federal government is making. There's a bonus for Ontario and for the kind of Ontario infrastructure you just mentioned, which is this new tax approach is going to make more revenue available for the province of Ontario on the order of $5 billion. So that's one of the things I talked to the Premier about on Monday. And I think, listening to the people of Burlington, sounds like it would be a great idea for him to spend some of that money on the infrastructure your community needs.
Right. Next question. Question, question.
Pam wants to say something. I think that's a great idea for Pam to say something.
Just on
Sorry for the step.
yeah, if I get right up here, I'm a little too tall. On the investments in public transit, here in Burlington, there's been millions of dollars invested into public transit. There's been billions invested into GO Transit. And as the finance minister was saying, this is over multi-years. You're going to start to see those roll out in Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton. We're investing in public transit so people can get out of their cars. So if people do need to drive, they're able to do it more easily, but we are investing in our communities as well as in GO Transit for the broader community.
Next question. Prochaine question. No? That concludes today's press conference. Maintenant la conférence de presse.
Okay, thank you very much.